Hello, church family. I hope you are well and having a good week. Well, friends, it's been really great, hasn't it, recently to be able to gather back together each week in person for our Sunday services. And thank you to everyone who's been able to connect with us in person these past few weeks. Children's Church, it's been especially great to be able to see you back with us in person each week. And I know that you've been glad to be back here and to see your friends and be together in Children's Church once again. Now, we know that COVID hasn't gone away and it's not going away. And we will need to learn to live with this virus for the foreseeable. And so as a church, we take seriously our responsibility to make sure that we do everything that we can to keep you safe when you come to church. We make sure that the building is cleaned regularly and thoroughly. We make sure that seats are set out in such a way to make sure that there is continued distancing in place. We make sure there's hand sanitizer available so that as you come into church, you can clean your hands. We make sure that there's always fresh air circulating, that the building is well ventilated. We ask you to wear a face covering as you come into church, and particularly as we sing together. We're no longer required to ask you to book to come to church, and we don't hold on to your details for tracing purposes, but we do have the COVID QR code available that you can scan with your app as you come in if you wish. And likewise, we ask you, as you come to church each week, to take reasonable steps to ensure your safety and the safety of those around you in church. And COVID will continue to exist, and there will be cases of COVID, and we can't keep closing the church and hiding from this virus. It is going to be a part of our everyday lives for a while. However, over the last week, it has become apparent that a lot of people in our church family right now are unwell. And an ever-increasing number of people who have been in our church recently are then testing positive for COVID. Now, that's not to say that they caught COVID here, but there is a very real risk that they have been spreading it here. A number of those people at the time they tested positive did not show any symptoms or were not aware that the symptoms that they were experiencing were COVID symptoms. And so it's highly likely that people are able to spread this virus without knowing it. Now, the number of confirmed positive cases in our church family that have been reported continues to grow right now each day. And that number is beyond what could be considered reasonable. And so our leadership team have together made the decision that we believe to be right at this time, and that is to put a break in place. For the next 2 Sundays, we will take our services back online, and the church building will not be open on those next 2 Sundays. We'll gather back together as normal after that from the 31st of October, but for the next 2 weeks, we ask you please to worship with us online. We are also due to have a church meeting on Monday. Friends, that will also take place online and not here in the building. Now, we know that there are a few people who were not able to access church online, and so we'll make sure that when we meet for a church meeting on Monday, there were a couple of matters which we were due to discuss and vote on together as a church, as church members. We will wait with those until we're able to gather back together, and maybe in a few weeks' time we'll arrange another church meeting just for that. And so if you're not able to access the meeting online, you won't miss out on important decisions that need to be made. But we will meet as a church family for our church meeting online on Monday. And our next 2 Sunday services will take place online. As we go forward, as we learn to live with this virus, it may be that every now and again, as numbers reach a point that can't be considered reasonable, that we need to put a short break like this in place. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Friends, please be patient with us. We're learning this as we go along. But right now, we're doing what seems to us to be the right and sensible thing to do. Those of you who are unwell right now know that we're praying for you, and we pray God's hand of healing on you. We pray that God would restore you to full strength very soon. And everybody else, we look forward to seeing you online, hopefully very soon, and we'll be back here in the building from Sunday, the 31st of October. Have a great day. May God bless you.